are you doing?
We are doing great.
Yeah.
Excited to be at Pori. Never been here before, actually. First time ever.
First
For
time.
me, at least. I don't know about
Yeah,
you
well,
guys.
I've visited here a couple of times, but
Never been here.
Okay.
I think I have been once in Uteri or
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
But
a
never
long,
for
long
play.
time ago. But
Yeah.
not
Never
played, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
playing yet.
That's a first for everyone.
yeah. So let's hope that people in Pori are coming to see and enjoying your show.
Oh, definitely. At least we have some people actually, ironically, from Valkeakoski coming actually today. They're gonna
Really?
travel all the way to Pori actually to come and see us. So
That's good.
yeah, there's gonna be at least what 5-6 people.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
nice.
see. Yeah.
That's
a
nice.
convoy of cars.
Yeah.
So, Bloody Falls.
Mm.
Tell us more about the band for those that don't know you.
Okay, the band Bloody Falls actually. Bloody Falls actually started as an idea after me and Marco used to be Excel Genesis.
Yeah.
We used to be a band together with some other people, and we decided that we wanted to change actually music style. We wanted to play heavier and wanted to play different style than what we used to play. So we decided like let's put Excel Genesis to rest and start a new band. I came up with the name Bloody Falls. I did some research online about massacres, and I found the Bloody Falls massacre that happened in Canada. And I was like, oh damn, that's a good name. So I checked, I googled it, there was no band Bloody Falls. I was like, okay, that's our name. I suggested it to Marco. Marco loved it also.
Yeah.
We started it. And after that, we wanted to do some band member changes. Like Thanatos, in our first album that we released, that was titled Thanatos, which means death in Greek. We actually released it with a different lineup. It was the original Exile Genesis lineup still.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, we replaced everyone. And the official Bloody Falls started, I would say, 2019.
Okay.
That every single band member 2019 was in the band, and we started recording the album Burn the Witch. We had got a new record label with Arcades Records, and we started actually recording with Max Morton, the mixing of Ginger. So we decided to take a step up and try to make it like bigger in so many ways. We invested a lot more of our time, of our money, of everything. And here we are, actually, like, what has it been, like 5 years, 6 years?
6 years after.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just released Amartia. Our also another Greek name. Yeah, we have that because I'm Greek, so it makes sense.
Who
So-
is inventing it?
Yeah, it means sin
Indeed.
in Greek, Amartia, and we released the album now, which has been a major success. And right now we got Death Agency. We're super happy, and we're playing everywhere live
Yeah, yeah.
in Finland. So it's really amazing.
That's great. And talking about your last album, you also released an instrumental version.
Yes.
Was it this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up. No. What's
No,
it?
no,
End
It
of
was last
end of
year.
last year.
End of
Sorry,
last
yeah,
year,
end of
yeah.
last
Okay.
year. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
was it
Yeah.
November or
Something like that.
October, November.
Yeah,
I
somewhere
think.
around there. Yeah, yeah.
Why
It-
did you decide to
It
release?
was actually our record label's actually idea.
Yeah.
Our record what?
Tell me, why did why did you want?
Yeah,
to
we
do
didn't
that?
like Anteros
Oh,
vocals.
We know who is leaving the band.
Yeah, early signs of
On the-
divorce.
on the chopping block already.
No, our record label actually, Arcades actually suggested to us, like, do we have the instrumental versions of the album of Amartia? And of course we had, because our mixing guy is sending us both instrumental and the full mix and all those kinds of things. So they suggested, like, to keep the, like, Spotify beast fed, let's say. So people have something to listen to. You want to release an instrumental version? And we're like, yeah, why not? Like, we got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
No effort from my part. We just sent them the WAV files and they just released it. That's it. They did all the advertisement and everything. So all we had to do is just send the Dropbox link and everything happened after that. So it was pretty
so it was
convenient.
easy.
Yeah, it was
really
convenient. Yeah, really
like,
convenient.
Like
actually.
feeding the algorithm.
Yeah, pretty much.
And talking about
Amartia.
Amartia, thank you. What can you tell about its genesis and lyrics?
Genesis and lyrics, okay. Let's go with how Amartia came to be, let's say, the album.
Yeah.
So we go how we went into the topic of Amartia. Like, I created actually Evil Incarnate. That Evil Incarnate is basically about all the evil of humanity, basically, like incarnate into one person. So that sparked a little bit the idea about talking about sin and sins in general. And also we had actually like 15 songs, which was a lot to release in one album, or 14 or something like that, I don't remember. But when it came to the construct of the whole scene, actually it came from Evil Incarnate, and then I wrote the song The Way of Sin. We loved the song a lot, and we decided, like, what if we make it kind of like the album, like being around sin in general. And because we had a lot of songs, we didn't want to release, let's say, a 13-track album. We decided to release an 8-track album, but before that, make a 5-song EP. That it was a dying season. It's still associated to Avartia, the scene, because it was about not sin per se. We're not talking about the sin per se, but we're talking about sins, as in murder, as in wrongfully accused because of some sin that you didn't commit. And then we went to Amartia, which is about the sin. And we're talking about the sin like the original sin in some songs about Cain, Abel and Cain, from the Bible and stuff like that. So we're talking about this, and we played with that topic. Mostly influenced not from the Bible directly, I would say more from series like Supernatural in my case, like that I have seen from there. The Mark of Cain, for instance, like the Curse of the Mark.
Yeah.
The Mark of Cain comes directly from Supernatural. It's not actually in the Bible or anything like that.
Yeah.
Dean had actually the Mark of Cain later on. So I play around more with series and stuff. I try to never actually go straight to any religious or politic topics. I go more from entertainment. So that's basically the genesis and kind of like root of how the album came to be. And
Yeah,
it
and
just
also-
took a life of its own. And
Yeah, and also we had the ending song on Burn the Witch album.
yes,
we had
Father of Sin. That's so true. That's another sparking.
Yeah, we
I forgot
had
about that.
we were at a local pub like a year or year and a half before we started truly working on
Yeah.
Amartia, and like we already had the topic Cain and Abel running
Yes.
around, and then I told Stavros, let's delve deeper into it. a
Yes,
little bit.
because we had the ending song of Burn the Witch called Father of Sin, and it was about the story of Cain. And Marco suggested actually the idea that what if we step more into it and we try to create a little bit more around it. And I really love the idea also.
Yeah.
And that's how it came, the way of sin and the evil incarnate and all those things. So
The Man Undying.
I think, yeah, and the Man Undying that Marco created basically, like, it was basically like the father of sin was the root of it. And ironically, I had forgotten about that actually.
Yeah,
But when I
continuation of the story.
yeah, but when I created Evil Incarnate, I didn't have that in mind. At
Yeah,
least,
yeah.
because Evil Incarnate predates that.
Yeah.
And I wanted it as to be the main track, and the album name was gonna be Evil Incarnate. But we
Okay.
changed that because I don't know, like something with the word Evil Incarnate, like the whole thing, that just didn't click for an album track.
It didn't roll
Like,
off the tongue.
or album title, sorry. And I think Antero suggested it. Antero was the one that mentioned like,
Yeah, I think.
let's actually come up with a name for the album that has nothing to do with the song of the album in a way, because I was thinking like, should we name it Evil Incarnate or The Way of Sin? And Antero said like, I don't know, let's name it something else. Like, what is the Greek name for sin? I told him Amartia. And I was planning to name the first song of the album, Sorrow Is My Name.
Mm.
I had titled it Amartia already.
Yeah.
So that's another route where it came from, and stuff like that. So you
Yeah,
see,
because
there's so
yeah,
much history behind
Yeah,
that.
because I think it, when I did this lyrics for the Sorrow Is My Name,
Yes.
and then of course it didn't anymore being track called Amartia. So then we also decided that that's a very very nice name, and we can
Yes,
use it actually.
we can
now
always
in
keep
the-
it
in
actually
the
there
album, so
and
yeah.
stuff. So that's how
Win-win.
like the entire story actually of how Amartia and the whole scene topic came through.
Yeah, yeah. What are your main influences? I know it's one of those tricky question because everyone has different influences, but you can each one of you maybe can name a few
All right,
musician bands or
Yes.
whatever that inspired you to.
and we're talking
To do music.
specifically about music in general,
In
or
general.
about okay, not only about Bloody Falls.
Yeah.
Okay, so music in general. I can always start. Marco seemed really ready, so
Yeah, well, I started with Metallica. After that, going to thrash metal, death metal, Death is a huge influence from the bands. Diablo from Finnish, Mokoma, Stamina, Crowbar. Lots of it's not only old school or new school.
you have to
basically.
say you open at some point.
Yeah, no.
We knew it was
Obviously,
coming.
yeah.
Marco, this is not gonna last half an hour. Then.
Yeah,
Tell all the back.
Yeah,
And also Dream Theater.
Dream
Yeah,
Theater,
yeah,
yeah.
the big one,
A
yes.
big one, yeah. It's a topic that you can talk about for hours.
Yeah. For me, at least, I would say like I started at a really, really young age with Iron Maiden because of a cousin of mine. He played me Iron Maiden. I fell in love with metal, but I stuck for an extremely long period of time with clean vocal metal, as in like Iron Maiden. Then I was listening to System of a Down, major influences. Then I picked up the guitar when I was 15, 16 years old, and I started learning on my own. And the first things that I wanted to learn was Iron Maiden and System of a Down. So after that, it escalated. I met some girls. She burned me some mix CD, and she had inside Lamb of God and Children of Bottom and all those kind of Amon Amarth. I heard them and I hated the vocals on all of them.
Okay.
All of them. Me. Hating scream vocals. I got like it's ridiculous. And I eventually it started growing on me because I started learning how to play the songs on the guitar, and it really grew on me. And scream vocals has grown so much to me that I actually cannot tolerate clean vocals nowadays, besides Iron Maiden, let's say, and some others. But yeah, let's go to the more influences nowadays. I would say Rotting Christ, Lamb of God, Children of Bottom, Amon Amarth, and of course Maiden, that never leaves. So those are my major things.
Yeah.
About Rami.
Me?
Yeah. Raminator.
There is many bands for me. Stratovarius, Kim, you know, Ville
Yeah.
Vano, and guys. Metallica, of course. Iron Maiden.
No Pantera?
Pantera,
Yeah. I was just thinking. What happened?
What else? Behemoth, of course. So very multiple, like from death metal, power metal, or pure Norwegian pure black metal.
Yeah.
Many bands.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's kind of started the same way as with pretty much everyone. That first comes to Metallica and other stuff like Stratovarius and so on. But then I found the Sentenced,
Yes.
which was kind of the first one which went more to the darker side. Then I had also the early Nightwish stuff there. But then came the Children of Bodom, the Follow the Reaper album, and I was completely sold. And from there, I pretty much went to the very deep end to the black metal side, and then came a little bit down from there.
Welcome
But
back.
yeah. But like I would say that for me, it's mostly like I really like the old black metal vocals, like because those are so harsh and real. They are not like only
Raw.
about the technique.
Yes, yes.
It's like every singer sounds a bit different because they are, at least back in the days, they really didn't know how to do those,
Yeah.
and everyone was struggling, and it felt bad.
Raw cassette
But-
recordings also, you know,
But
and
that
stuff.
that was also for me like I had my first like I think it was like 2000 or something like that. I didn't have any clue how to sing harsh vocals. I tried to first in the first rehearsals to sing clean. It didn't work. So we went straight from there to the deep end, and like from there a little bit by bit you learn to use your voice. So,
Yeah.
but I would say Children of Bodom, mostly Norwegian black metal,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
By the way, Antero, did any of those bands that the older guys influence us on our old band, did any of those stick? Like Entombed, Crowbar, or stuff like that?
no.
I don't think so. Yeah. According to the studio nights that they have, I don't think so.
Basically, I was the only victim.
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, I started metal pretty much from Cradle of Field and Children of Bodom. And then I was on that end to start with. And then I started like a little bit more like, not Stratovarius, but Sonata Arctica and Nightwish. And at some point, just like Stavros, I just did clean vocals pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like it's a minority right now. Like
Yeah.
I don't ever. It's not something that clearly puts me off. But for me, for some reason, just harsh vocals has been the thing, and then it just Slipknot and In Flames, Korn, and then later on bands like Whispered, Gojira, and stuff like that.
But that's the fun thing, like when you hear our influences usually, everybody has so different influences.
Yeah.
From black metal to like progressive metal, then
Power metal.
yeah, like anything, you know, and then you take all those influences and combine them in one.
Yeah.
and that's how you have blood groups.
Yeah.
Usually it ends up in a disaster, but somehow
Yeah,
it has been now
Somehow
working.
we make it work. Like,
We have the creative control.
yeah.
As long as it's not too happy.
Yeah, as long as you're not too happy.
Antero
that's
is,
the-
Yeah, you
Antero
just,
is going
yeah,
to
you
keep.
just,
That riff is too happy.
Yeah.
you just don't let me and Rami to mix the tapes because
No.
otherwise it's gonna be like the cassette
Phone in the
recorder.
middle, actually, everybody recording around. No.
There is any other kind of music that you enjoy to listen outside of metal music?
Definitely.
So
At-
what?
At least in my case, like I enjoy a lot soundtracks, like movie soundtracks, for instance.
Same here.
Like a lot of things, like Last of the Mohicans, Gift of the Three Souls from Braveheart. Like there's many that I can name.
Yeah.
And let's go. I can even. I had a period of time, like most teenagers had, that we listened to rap, and I was listening to American rap. Yeah, you know, and stuff. But from all the songs from that era that has stick to me, and it's not. You don't have to like rap like that song. Come on, Gangsta's Paradise. Like that song is just legendary. It's epic. It's one of the best songs ever created in existence of the humankind. Okay, so I do enjoy those things, and there are others that I can enjoy, like Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. No, I really like his songs and stuff like that. So I have many varieties. Of course, the majority is always metal, but many times I get the feeling that, hey, I want to hear Smooth Criminal today. You know, like,
Yeah.
and just fucking sit there and just have like watch a live version of Michael just do like his thing and stuff.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
it's really fun.
For me, it goes like I think maybe game music is one that comes up more.
I heard something completely wrong.
Game. Yeah. But
I'm sorry.
there is not much. I can listen to a lot. There is a few rap artists, and
Yeah.
for Finnish, like what's that?
Iskelma,
Iskelma,
don't say that.
yeah, like
Oh my god.
at some point, like there was a few. My father used to listen, so.
Ah, okay, that's
like,
a different
even that
story.
goes-
though.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
Even that
different.
kind of like.
Yeah,
goes
but the old stuff is kind of like if you really start listening, it's like the early
is-
doom.
yeah.
Like
And
when
there
you
is-
hear the lyrics, you are like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
really ready to kill myself.
And just like Stavros
Yeah,
said,
it's
like the
very
smooth
depressing.
criminal, and just some days it's
Yeah.
just like you just get a feeling that like okay today pop or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
like it just comes and it's like
Whatever the
it's
mood
just a mood.
strikes, you know,
Yeah.
like really. Marco?
Yeah, like
I know you
So-
listen to Britney Spears and Barbie Girl and all those kind of things.
you blurted it out. Like Stavros said, like soundtrack music. Some pop artists. I like Queen, for example.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Queen is a little bit more rock.
Yeah, rock.
like
Yeah,
classic
I was gonna say
yeah.
rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
rock and progressive rock and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then I used to listen quite a lot. I was huge into demo scene party, like assembly, where you go with your computer to a big LAN party
Yeah.
kind of stuff. There was the demo scene music. It was basically made with old computers. Like
Yeah,
Commodore
16-bit
64.
music kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love that also. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Do you mean synthwave? Or was
Well, also synthwave, but
Basically,
like
but it's a little different.
A little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I would say that probably for me the biggest dark side is the 90s dance music.
Techno.
Like well, is it a techno? But
I
like
don't know, yeah,
E-Type and all those.
I agree with
like,
you, yeah,
like
I
because
agree.
I was like what 7, 8, 9 year old when that scene was booming, and I heard all of it, and I still love it. It's
Yeah.
somehow still like, it's fast enough. It's like
It's
it gets on-
nostalgia, man.
Yeah.
It's
and
really nostalgia. It's the vein,
but
actually. The
It's
moment
very,
the song
very good. And
starts
like,
playing.
yeah, and like Lepa said, the old Finnish Iskelmä, like I grew up with it,
Yeah,
so
same,
I really
yeah.
know it around. But yeah, it's not something that I really listen to.
Yeah.
But Elvis and Johnny Cash, those are also artists that I
Old school
sometimes
American
go
music,
and
yeah.
listen some of their songs. Not all of them are good, but some songs, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me also Suomi Iskelmä, because my parents, thank you.
A lot of that going on.
Soundtracks also. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think you
Never came
you
to
really
my mind.
listen to so much else,
No, no.
actually. Yeah, no.
But
Yeah.
I must say that when you are a kid, you listen to whatever your parents are listening.
Luckily, my
and,
mom was listening to Scorpions and stuff like that, and my cousin to Maiden, and I got into the rock metal. So
and then whatever the radio at the time, whatever the music TV was showing, but
Yeah.
nowadays it's not. I think that the kids don't listen to radio anymore. So
Yeah, and everyone has their headphones. Like back in the days, we didn't have any headphones. You even wouldn't have the cassette player or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you need to ask a permission to listen something, and
Yeah.
do you?
We're that old.
Yeah. The
Yes,
parents
they really
won't
are.
let you play Slayer in the C cassette player in the living room, like.
the
no.
good old '90s, man, and '80s and stuff. Yeah.
Talking about Iska, I seem to be the exception. Probably at some point something snapped and I cannot fucking stand it. Most of it anyway.
I'm not from here, like born here and raised here, so I cannot stand that music at all.
Yeah.
But traditional Greek music, though, I can. Like I love traditional Greek music, like the '60s, '50s, '70s music. Not the modern ones, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I'm from Italy,
Yeah,
so
I know.
for me it's like the
Eros Ramazzotti.
Yeah, also because I was a kid, I was a teenager then, so and then Eurodance was so big
Yes.
all over
And
Europe,
Italy.
but
Yes.
yeah, so of course when certain songs start, I enjoy it. I'm not ashamed to say I'm enjoying that, and also some of those pop songs that usually they before whatever metal gigs of biggest bands, sometimes they play like Britney Spears,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua,
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys, and then people are like enjoying. Even if maybe back in the time people were like, no, this is shit, but
Actually, on that topic, like Antero mentioned, like 90s dance music, and to add to that, my brother was big on electronic music on the end of 90s, start of
Yeah.
2000s, and every time I hear, like the older I get, the more nostalgic I get when I hear like Waldo's people.
Yep.
Like,
True, actually.
Yes. Video bomber.
Sorry.
I think it's
Manager is just in here. Okay. Your phone is actually in here. So
Okay.
Ah, okay.
When you're ready.
Okay.
so talking about your band now.
Yes.
let's get back to the main point.
Yeah.
So you signed with Artgate Records.
Yes.
So how happened?
How it happened?
Yeah.
Uh,
Was the
You remember
the
the best.
records or
Around actually, like we had already released Thanatos via Inverse Records, here Finnish record label, but we had an open contract, so we had our options open if something, let's say, not better necessarily, but something different comes up and stuff. We were quite happy already with Inverse, to be honest, but we just wanted to explore our options, and I think Arcades, if I remember right, actually yes, definitely, Arcades Records sent us an email. And they were interested in signing us. Don't ask me how they found us. And I'm pretty sure they were pleasantly surprised also because they found us with the Thanatos album and they wanted to sign us. And then we sent them the first demo actually with Antero singing actually for for the new material of Burn the Witch and with Max having mixed them. I think they actually really won the lotto actually with the whole like we did not see that coming. So yeah, it was like, I don't know, I think they had good instincts actually to bet on us. And they contacted us, we worked it out, actually we got a really good deal, we're really happy and we have been happy ever since actually with Arcades
that's
actually.
great.
Yeah. We don't really have anything to complain about. So
Yeah.
yeah.
we're pretty happy.
Yeah. And now Tina from Deaf Agency
Yes.
is doing manager
Tina
work
is
for you.
family actually right now. She's really family with us. Like we love Tina actually. Like she's our booking agent and manager. It's fun how it started. We were driving back from a gig from Helsinki or
and
something.
I said to you, I was checking their Instagram and I saw that the
Deaf Agency has followed us
Yeah.
on Instagram. And I was at the time looking for agencies and managements to contact.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, I was like, huh, tell me the name again, Deaf Agency. I was like, okay, I will check it. And the next day I actually sent an email to Tina and stuff. And Tina replied to me the same day, I was planning to send you an email, guys, tomorrow. I'm a fan of your band, actually. I love your music and stuff like that. And I was planning to contact you that we can actually negotiate a deal and stuff like that. So it was kind of like meant to happen. And we have been so happy. Tina has really, really like elevated our band in every way.
Yeah.
Like from gigs to Finland, trying to get us outside of Finland, trying to negotiate all kinds of things to make things bigger for us. And we cannot thank her enough, actually. We love Tina. And
Yeah.
you see her, she's here. She
Yeah.
just passed, by the way. And everything. She's handling all the business. She's
Yeah.
selling merchandise for us here and everything. Like, she's our queen.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And you played last summer in Portugal at
Yes.
the Laurus Nobilis Festival.
Yes.
So how was that experience?
That was probably the most amazing experience I've ever experienced in my life, actually, in my case. Like, Marco has some experience with festivals because
Yeah.
playing on another band and stuff. Like, maybe not open door festivals like Laurus Nobilis, they're
Yeah,
more
but-
indoor festivals.
Yeah, well, it has been always an indoor festival.
So I think Laurus Nobilis was the first for all of us
Yes.
to play on a main stage on a big festival and play with the likes of Wolfhard and Vader, okay? Like, it was like, I got to meet the Wolfhard guys. I mean, their guitarist is Greek, okay? We immediately, and ironically, they had a bassist missing and a Greek guy filled in, and we're like, now we got it, family here, brothers.
So you missed him because he
Yes.
wasn't chatting with the
Yeah, we
Greek
were
guys.
forced to go there.
He was just having a family meeting.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So it was fantastic, and oh my god, the feeling, you know, when you go, at least my feeling, like when I went on that stage, first time we stepped on it, when we went to the venue, like I could walk and walk and walk, and the stage just wasn't ending, okay? Like, and I'm like, oh my god! And looking down, when we started the gig, the people, like hundreds of people, they were reacting and they were screaming along and clapping hands, and you could hear the feedback. I mean, we were playing I Met My Death with Marco, and it was one of the most legendary moments of my life when it came to the breakdown of the song, and we have this amazing melody going on, and Antero got the people, like, he told them, like, now everybody in Portugal, you know, go, hey! And they started screaming, hey! And my hair was so high up, it was gonna fall off my hand. I was smiling so much, I was like, oh my god, this is the best moment of my life! So yeah, that's at least my personal experience. It was, wow!
I have to say, I was a little bit afraid heat.
Yeah,
At first,
we were skeptical a
but-
little bit, yeah.
But
But
gladly, the stage was sideways to the sun, and the sun hadn't really shown to
Yeah.
the stage, so it was quite actually.
Also, we were next to the Atlantic
compared-
Ocean, so
yeah.
basically the wind
like,
coming,
it was
refreshing, yeah.
way better than I thought, but I
Yeah.
still lost my pick like million times.
I know
Yeah,
that.
it's- but that didn't really matter. Like it was,
Yeah.
it was really, really nice. It was amazing.
It was fucking nice. Technical issues aside, like
Yeah.
it was the first and last gig I'm gonna play with a lone guitar.
Yeah, with a long guitar, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the second song, the pin that holds the guitar strap,
It fell off.
it plays.
It just got
It
unscrewed
came
and it
off, like,
fell off.
It fell off. I put it back. It fell off again, and then I ran to the side of the stage and I showed it to the
They were,
stage mixing.
Marco was
guy.
playing and they were taping actually the guitar.
Yeah, like a neon green tape to hold it together. Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
We have
But it worked
video.
out. But it worked out.
It was an experience.
Yeah, it was
What
an
an
experience.
experience.
Yeah, fun story to tell. you know?
Yeah, like what would be our first festival gig without some minor spinal tap?
Yeah.
moment?
Yes,
What
exactly.
about a story to experience coming back?
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna be a
God.
story. Yeah, fucking hell! Like we almost lost the flight. It was like chaos.
Why?
Uh,
Why? What happened?
It was
Well,
actually
there was a fog in the Porto area.
there was a delay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we couldn't
also,
leave.
also the Microsoft crowd strikes.
Yes, there was a
Yeah,
strike
crashed down,
also.
Oh, it was there.
all crap, and,
And
we
we
were
were
like, oh,
3
I
hours.
think it was 3 hours late.
3 hours
and
late. We had
we were-
connecting flight in Milan
Yeah.
from a different company. So basically, they don't wait for you.
Yeah.
We landed with 40 minutes to make it. We knew that we cannot check in luggage. So we told the guys, okay, safe, like full safe plan, kind of like whatever happens. Me, his wife, and Marco, we run to go catch the flight, and the rest of them try to ditch the luggage on the lost and found, so they make sure they come to Finland, and you run with everything you got to come and try to catch the flight, okay? Otherwise, they stay for vacation in Milan.
Yeah. And there was on Milano Malpensa there is probably know, 2 terminals,
Yes.
and it's a couple of kilometers apart.
Oh, yes.
And we were at the EasyJet terminal, and the next flight was on the terminal 1.
10 minutes or something like that. Like, and we had to run. By the way, think about it. Okay, July in Milan,
Yep.
plus 40 degrees. Okay,
Like
And-
the hell, like
Yes.
the hell.
and we had to run, sprint at full speed, get a taxi. We paid some taxi driver some excessive amount of money, and he was going like literally half a cent, like centimeter from the other car that he was going in a hurry to drive us. We got to the airport. We checked in, everything fine. But then comes the rest of the nerves. We have to wait for the rest. Are they gonna make it? And we're all waiting there. We're waiting and waiting. And his wife, actually, that hadn't smoked for a long time, she was so nervous. Like, can you please give me a cigarette? Like, this is so nerve-wracking and stuff. And then we finally see he comes first, like victorious, like a marathon with the hands up. And we're all people were looking at us like, what the hell?
Hugging and cheering, and then Rami appears.
Then Rami appears
And
also.
5 minutes remaining.
And then like and we all made it. We were so stressed at the moment, but when we all made it, we just smiled. It was so fun, and we're gonna be like, it's gonna be a fun story to tell. Actually,
Yeah.
the whole thing actually to get out and come back to Finland. We almost got stuck in Milan, all of us.
Yeah, so you made it.
Yes, we did make it.
You know, it was once that I almost missed a flight because I had the change.
Yeah, the
in
connecting
Germany.
flights.
Was it Munich?
Oh my God, Munich! That airport is unlimited.
So I was like to
Yeah.
run to the other side.
Yes.
And it was, oh my God, in 5 minutes they closed the.
Why is it that it always happens at Munich? It has happened to me, it has happened to you, it has happened to many people that I know, that you land to Munich and you are at gate 2 and you're leaving from gate 178 or something
Yeah,
like
what's
that.
wrong with them?
Yeah,
Can you
why
give
did
some more
it's like
time?
they're doing it on purpose actually. to like,
Yeah.
You have to lose weight. Sprint!
Yeah.
Luckily,
But,
I have been only on Frankfurt and Berlin. So.
Yeah, don't go to Munich. I mean, the
Yeah,
airport
I
is
tried to avoid
ginormous.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yep.
Intense activity.
Yes,
Physical
definitely.
activity when you try to run for the flight. But was the first time that you play with your band outside
Yes,
Finland?
yes,
Yeah.
with Bloody Falls, actually with the present lineup and everything, first time ever that we went actually
Yeah,
outside of
yeah.
Finland.
We have
Yeah.
some prior experience with Exageres.
Yeah.
We were a couple of weeks at Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
That trip was a whole other story.
It was a completely disaster actually. It
Yeah.
was me and Marco actually. We were still the only band members
Yeah.
from that band that we're still here to Bloody Falls. The
Yeah.
others were not here. They're
Yeah,
experiencing.
it was real life spinal tap completely.
Yeah, it was actually hell of a trip. Fun trip, but hell of a trip.
Yeah, it didn't feel fun at the time.
Yeah. But still, fun looking back at it.
Yeah. We
But
had
it's
fun
gone, it's
also,
gone.
yeah.
Yes.
Only good stuff coming.
I hope so.
And
Yeah.
things learned.
Uh-huh.
So, are you planning to go on tour outside of Finland? So, what's coming in the next months?
Okay, in the next months, actually, like, let's say realistically right now, we're working on a new album.
Okay.
So we cannot share any details about that because we're not even sure about the details. So
Yeah.
we know some basic things, but we're working on a new album at least. That's priority number 1 right now. We have already gigs booked, and we want actually to, of course, have more gigs, if possible, for autumn. So we can actually close up the year nicely. And hopefully next year, yes, we want to get out of Finland. We were trying this year to get out of Finland for autumn, trying to go to some countries, but so far it hasn't worked out that well.
Okay.
So we are aiming more for next year. Next year, our goals are at least to go to Germany. Definitely, we have big fan base in Germany. We want to go to Sweden, also big fan base there. And hey, can we go also to some other countries, add up some France or something like Netherlands? Like it would be great, you know.
Yeah.
Down to
Let's start.
Brazil.
Yeah, no, across the seas. That's gonna take still
Yeah.
like some time and stuff. But Europe, yes, actually, we try to go to where the fans are requesting us from,
Yeah.
where we see the majority requesting us, and also where the majority of listeners on our Spotify or whatsoever.
So, where
Might
is
come
the
from.
the majority now?
Majority right now is US. US is number 1.
Easy
Yeah.
trip.
And everything.
Yeah.
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 United States is number 1 actually. Then it's Germany. Germany is number 2.
Okay.
And the third one is actually Finland, of course. And fourth one, if I remember right, was Sweden.
Yeah.
And everything.
Okay.
And right now, countries like cities wise, Sweden holds the second and third spot with Stockholm and Gothenburg after
Yeah,
Helsinki.
yeah.
Helsinki is number 1.
Yeah.
and stuff.
So Sweden is possible.
It is possible as long as the venues reply to us, so we can get gigs and everything like that.
Yeah.
I hope that they reply, so we can actually arrange some things.
Yeah. What's about Greek?
I would love to go triumphant back to Greece, you know, like holding my sword
Bow
high
down.
that I made it back.
Bow down.
Look what I wrote.
You know, for me, Greece is actually like I would love to go, but in Greece to go actually play there, you need some big festival or some really big venue. And the venues in metal, I do not know that much that they have because I know metal is not huge in Greece. They have a metal scene. It's big, but it's nowhere close to, let's say, European countries in the center of Europe and North Europe
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, so I would more count my money on like a festival.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I would definitely would love to go there. We play the first couple of songs, and then when it's time for Antero to say, I go there actually to the microphone instead. I say, Kalispera, I love that. Just say it in Greek. Everybody understand like, he's Greek. We like that band. They have a Greek band member, you know, like, yes, kind of thing.
Yeah. You should just work on the connection more there.
We do have, ironically, we have
Yeah.
Kostas actually. Kostas a good connection to book gigs actually,
Yeah.
and
I
everything.
think the mainly the problem usually is that we also get some requests that can you come here to
Yeah.
play a gig and stuff like that. But then also the venues don't probably understand that if they offer a couple €100,
Yeah,
you
like
cannot
that's
get
not
the
enough.
flight tickets. You don't cannot
Yeah,
get like
because some
like-
venues like they do offer you. Let's say like they say like okay, €400, like let's say for their country, whatever the country is, that's gonna be big money. But do you count actually that we are first of all 5 people? Think about the flights. We're talking about thousands of euros, and then what about actually our instrument?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
Yeah,
money to
yeah,
actually
that
bring
is a
on us
really
carrying
big
luggage
expense.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, the venue. Thank you. You're generous for offering us €400, but we're not coming actually from the neighborhood down below, or we don't have to drive an hour. We have to travel for many hours and pay a lot of money to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
So Bloody Falls needs to go more to that level that you can actually validly request.
Yeah, and this is
A lot of
why
money,
we have
basically.
been working with Tina as well.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that if we could get more of the venues and then we can start
Yeah.
to organizing that we will spend like 1 week.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then it's not gonna be such a payment per
Yeah.
one gig. So
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
It
yes.
makes sense if it's several cities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
if,
like a tour.
in one
basically.
week
Yeah.
there are 4 cities,
Yes.
and maybe 2 can be in one country and 2 can be in the closest country.
Exactly.
That will be like with you can take a van or
Uh-huh.
a bus, and
Because then you have calculated expenses and
Yeah.
also calculated income also because
Yeah.
you have multiple incomes. So you have a lot of variables, including the
Yeah.
merchandise, including many things actually that you know that you're gonna go maybe on the plus side or at least break even.
Yeah.
So it's worth the trip. But for a single gig, no.
yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
make
Unless
sense.
it's a festival and they pay all expenses.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's a difference.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we are at the end of this interview.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
it was,
you
it
for
was
the
fun.
interview. Yeah, definitely. We love having interviews. So.
Yeah. Would you like to say something to your fans and people that are watching this interview?
Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for all the support that we have gotten over the years. We promise you that we're gonna give you amazing metal to come. Trust me, what we have actually cooking, it's mind blowing. Way better than Amartya, way better than Burn the Witch. It's gonna come, not this year maybe, but still it's gonna come soon. All you can do is just keep supporting us, and we're just gonna keep providing you with good metal. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching
you.
the
Yeah,
interview.
Thank you. It's gonna get even better.